Welcome to Forever Unfiltered, where we talk about the messy, magical, and sometimes heartbreaking parts of being a woman.
Here's a little bit of an overview of what you can expect from us. We'll be talking real chats about miscarriage, pregnancy, grief, periods, identity, little light girly moments, and weekly life updates. This is a safe space to talk about all the things people usually avoid. But with a little disclaimer, we are not medical professionals and we're simply sharing our lived experiences.
Agreed.
Yes. So, our little welcome. Thank you for coming back and listening to us again.
Thanks for sticking around this far. We hope.
We're getting very close to Christmas. It's literally
So close.
not far
So
away
close.
at all. Um, do you have any plans?
No, Christmas is usually pretty chill for us. My partner has his like family do like we go to his pop's place for like a family lunch. Um catch up with all his side of the family, and then Boxing Day is just with his immediate family, and then at some point hopefully catch up with my siblings and stuff later on, because as you know, like Christmas is chaotic, so
Yes.
at
I
some
think we
point
all
when we
feel
have
that.
time, legit, like I feel like everyone just rushes to get in before Christmas. It's just not like, especially with work and like everything else, like you're trying to get on top of everything and then trying to catch up with everyone. Like it's nuts. So, but
Yes.
what about you?
Well, this is our first year living. Lane and I have moved out. We did live. My parents own 50 acres, and we lived in a little van there for a little while, and that was really fun. It was quite humbling actually, because I
And
realized
it's
how
such
much
a
stuff I
beautiful
actually
part of the
had.
world.
Oh, it's
Yes. Oh my
amazing.
gosh.
Like, I honestly wish that we could have stayed there forever. And I pray that one day a DA gets approved so I can build a house there.
Oh, that would be absolutely stunning.
Yes. So we've moved out now. We've got a big 3 bedroom house. We've got like two massive lounge rooms. So we're converting one to a big Christmas station, and everyone's coming to our house for Christmas.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, I have a large family. I've got 3 siblings, and they've
Uh,
all got children. So
Yes.
it is going to be chaotic, and I can't wait for the cleanup. But yeah, I'm making food, making lots of food. I'm having ham. I can't wait for ham. Oh,
Look
leg
at you
ham.
go. So domesticated, Grace.
Oh, I just feel like I need to relax a little bit. I'm getting
I was
over
gonna
the
say,
top, like going over the top
yes,
because I want to impress everyone. But I'm like, girl, you're only one person. Like,
legit. And please make sure you at least, enjoy the day as
yes, I
well,
don't want to be
because you'll blink and it'll be
stressed.
over.
Yes,
Yes.
I do not want to be stressed. So, yeah, we're hosting Christmas. And then the next day, my sister Kaylee, her and her husband, they used to have it at my brother-in-law's house. My brother, oh
Yes.
my god, they used to have it at my brother-in-law's parents' house. A little Boxing
Yes.
Day thing. So it was with all their friends, and now it's kind of
That was always a
converted.
good shindig.
Oh, so much
Yes.
fun.
Oh, I miss those days.
Yes, so
Oh,
much fun.
nostalgia.
Yes, but now Kaylee and Ben are hosting it themselves, so it's gonna be rowdy. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be a
I
keg.
love that.
There's gonna be cricket. There's gonna be lots of
Yes.
leftover food, and I am just so excited. I
Oh,
cannot
it
wait. I
sounds
feel
like
like
a
Boxing
ball.
Day is so much better than Christmas. Like,
Yeah,
love
Christmas
it.
is stressful.
Christmas is
Boxing Day is
stressful.
like the cool
Relax because you don't
aunt
have
of
to
the
cook. Like, it's all just there. It's all
yes.
there. I love that.
Everyone loves a good leftover.
Yes, I love
So,
leftovers. Oh, don't even get me started. I've literally got a second fridge to put in my back room because I'm like, this is where I'm storing
yes.
leftovers and beers. Like,
And you're eating ham for the next 6 months.
yes, I'll be smelling like a pig. Like,
Oh, stop.
I'll be smelling like a pork,
Oh my
like pork.
gosh. But
Um,
no, I love
yes,
that. That sounds awesome.
yes. But coming up to Christmas, it can be quite overwhelming, and when you're grieving and so fresh in the grief stage, it's hard seeing
It is.
people
It's,
with
yeah.
children, and because it's obviously family orientated, it is very hard. I find it really
Yes.
hard, and I've noticed a bit more like I'm struggling because watching like my siblings say, "Oh yeah, I've got to get this for blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh,
Yes. It's
like
like it should have been a milestone for you as well in a positive
I would have
way.
been like
Not,
35 weeks pregnant on Christmas,
yep.
and that's really sad." Like,
It is to yeah, think about like what like literally what could have been. And
yes,
it's yeah,
it's
yeah. So
honestly terrifying.
I can
And
only imagine.
yes, so getting into that, my today is
Yes.
my story time, I guess. Um, it
Yes.
all started pretty well June last year, so 2024.
Yep.
Um, actually, it was May. Lane was on tour. I went on tour with him, and yeah, we came back from then, and then I started to feel really off. It was like the start of June, and I don't know. Both times I've been pregnant, I was like, I know that I'm pregnant. Like
Yep.
I don't even know, like I don't have a symptom that I'm like, I know I'm pregnant, but I don't know, it's just something in my brain. It just knows like every single time. It's just so strange. Well,
I feel like
both
as a
times,
woman
sorry.
you do notice these things and people like I guess you kind of always have to trust your gut.
Yes.
Like because yeah, obviously like, in both our experiences, like like there's something
Yes.
going on.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yes. Continue. Sorry, continue.
No. So Lane gets on a flight over to CMA Fest in Nashville,
Yep.
and I was like, I feel like I'm pregnant. And I was literally only 17 then. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be murdered. Like, oh, start digging my own grave. Let's go.
Oh
So I was
gosh.
terrified about that. And I was like, I'm young. Like, everything's going to be fine. And so it took me a couple weeks. I told Lane while he was in Nashville because I could not keep it a secret.
That's hard. Yes.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
like, because I had seen all these things and they're like, we waited 2 weeks to tell the dad. So I had my plan. And I'm like,
Oh my
bro,
gosh. I could
like I
never.
could never. I was like the second I found out, I was like, Lane, uh,
Yep.
like yeah.
Yep. Oh
So
God, yeah, you have to tell someone.
yeah, yes. So that happened.
Yep.
I think it was about a week later, I like went for an ultrasound and everything was going great. And then I kind of got overwhelmed with everyone. I don't know. I felt a lot of pressure from family, like you're too young, and
Yep.
but I knew that they would be supportive either way. So at
Yes.
about 7 weeks, I decided to have a surgical termination,
Yep.
and that was really hard because I feel like I maybe wouldn't have made that choice if it was, I don't know, not so direct. I don't know. I just felt really off and I felt like it was going to ruin relationships if I didn't. So went and
Yep.
had a surgical termination, and that was just way too much for my mental health to cope because my siblings are like 21 years older than me and all I've ever wanted to be is a mum. So I
Yep.
know I was super young, but yeah, that was just something I always wanted. And so it was just really upsetting for me. And then um, come February this year, I
Yep.
was then an adult and I fell pregnant again. And, like this wasn't planned whatsoever. Um, but yeah, I fell pregnant again. And then I was like, oh, like everything's going to be fine. My parents are like, because we said, oh, if it happened in a year, everything, like, it'll be
Yep.
fine. You're an adult, you have independence, you'll have a good job. Like, I just
Yep.
wasn't really financially stable and everything like that, which I was a lot more this year. So, yeah, I was like, everything's going to be great. I went and had a scan and they were like, yeah, everything's going okay, but it's not like your HCG isn't doubling like it's meant to. But like, it's
Okay.
not totally doubling, but it's nearly. So things should be fine.
Yep.
I went back to my doctor and I was like, can we just repeat this for a couple of weeks? And like because it's every 48 hours, it should totally double or exceed. So I went back and yeah, had one every 2 days for about a week. And they're like, look, you should be about like 5.5 weeks now. And your HCG is only at like 360 or something. And it should be around like 1100 or something like that. Not
Okay.
totally sure, but it should be well and truly over that.
Okay.
So then I was freaking out and I went to the bathroom and noticed that I had was starting to bleed. And then it literally within 24 hours,
Okay.
everything had passed. So this all happened while I was at work.
Oh,
So I was
great.
like in my storeroom on the
Oh my
phone
gosh.
to the doctor and they're like, this is happening. And I feel like I'm pretty sure
How
it was a
traumatic.
Friday. Yeah, so it was a Friday and I
Oh,
was like, because I work alone on Fridays, I'm the only one there. So it was I was
oh,
like,
you
oh my
poor thing.
God. Like usually I work right next to my sister and I would have been talking to her about all this stuff, but I was all alone in my storeroom and I was like, this is really sad. Like, and then all the things in my mind, I was like, that is your fault for having the termination. You should have never done that. Like, this is why you're having a miscarriage.
Oh,
And so it was
no.
all, I just guilted myself.
You replay. Yep.
Yeah. And I did
Yep.
that forever. Like, I just always just thought maybe if I didn't have the termination, it would be different. Like, you know, and
Oh.
so, but then in the back of my mind, I'm like, would I have miscarried that baby? Like, there's so many things that come into your mind that I
I think you
guess,
doubt yourself about everything anyway, as it
yeah,
is, let alone when it comes to stuff like that. And
yeah,
there's literally obviously nothing you can do.
yeah.
Like,
And so this
no.
was around the middle of March. And so I think it happened on like this Saturday. I woke up I went to bed, everything was fine. I was just bleeding. So I did actually go to the store and I bought like these, the dependence nappies. And I was like, they're going to be so much more
Yeah.
comfortable than sleeping in a pad, like, surely. So I
Yes.
bought
Oh,
them
and that's the
and
worst. Oh,
yeah. And so I slept in them and I was like,
yep.
Lane, he was just incredible. He got up every like half an hour and get me a new heat pack, like reheat my heat pack all
Oh,
night. And my
beauty.
dog, we only had whiskey at the time and he just cuddled up to me the whole time,
Oh,
like he knew something was going on. Um,
yeah.
and then at about 3 o'clock, I had like this really bad cramping and I was like it actually felt like because it would come and then it would go. So it was kind of like a contraction kind of thing. It was really strange. And so I was about 7 weeks, 6, 7 weeks, something like that by this point. Like,
Yep.
after all the HCGs and everything. So yeah, about 6 weeks. Then I went into the bathroom and everything had passed. And then I think it was maybe only for about 2 days later, I just had a little bit of bleeding after that and everything was
Yep.
fine. So I went back
Yeah.
into work. So it was 3 a.m., had like passed everything, went to work at 8:30 that morning.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I walked in there and I was like a mess because that had just happened. And I messaged my sister and I was like, this has just happened. I'm going to come in and see how I go. And she's like, just don't push yourself because that's going to
Yeah.
just
Oh my gosh.
fuck your
It's a
head.
lot.
Like, yeah.
It's a lot.
So I went into work. I did like a couple of hours, but I was still cramping a bit because obviously your uterus is shrinking back down to
Yes.
size. Um,
Yes.
and so yeah, I went in. Sat down with my HR manager, who's also my manager. I sat down
Yep.
with her and I was like, I just want to let you know this has happened. I had leave planned from Wednesday that week, so it was Monday. I had leave planned from Wednesday to the next Wednesday for CMC, which is a country music festival that we attend every year. So I
Yep.
was like, can I just have today and tomorrow off, and then I won't be back till next Wednesday, so it's fine. So she was like, no problem. Went home, relaxed for 2 days, and then flew to CMC. And I was like so anxious the whole time. And I have like horrible anxiety. So I had to call my doctor and be like, what can I have to fly? Like, I hate flying. And so it
Yeah.
was just a
I
whole
need
nother
something to calm
thing.
me down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I had posted like a story on Instagram, just a photo of whiskey and I in the mirror, and I was laying down with a heat pack on my stomach, and I was like, this has been one of the most traumatic days of my life. And then, um, we got to CMC. We were all like seeing all my family that were there, and we were backstage seeing the artists, and they're like, "Oh, so what happened? Like, are you fine?" And I was like,
Oh
"Oh
my
yeah,
gosh. Not
yeah,
really.
yeah." And I didn't really know how to tackle that. I was like, it's a bit, I don't know, you
Mm,
kind of don't want to tell people because the situation you're in as well, you're backstage at like a
yeah.
music event, like everyone's happy, excited, like ready for the weekend, and you're just like, oh yeah, actually yesterday I just miscarried my
Yeah.
baby. Like,
By the way, yeah, miscarried.
yeah, and it's really hard and being around people that are heavily intoxicated all weekend as well, like just general crowd people. And you're
Yes.
like, fuck,
Yes.
why is everyone being wankers? But they're not. It's just that you're just like, I
In that
cannot do
headspace.
this. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
And people were telling me, oh, it's like there's obviously everything happens for a reason. There's obviously a reason that this happened. Like maybe the
Mm.
baby wasn't formed, like gonna come, I don't know, fully formed or whatever it may have been. There may have been deformities or there may have been anything like, making kind of excuses. And I was like, just stop. Like,
Yeah, please. Yeah,
I
you don't know that.
I'm trying to like get this off my mind. Not get it off my mind because it's a bad thing, but because I'm trying to put my time into where I am right
The
now.
moment.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
So that was really
Yes.
hard. And then Lane and I were like, let's see, like in a couple months, maybe a year, we'll start like actually trying. And we were like just tracking my
Yep.
ovulation. So simply because we weren't trying, but we weren't also like preventing, I guess. But we were just using my
Yes.
ovulation to go off because I was like, I want my hormones to get back to level. I don't want to take contraceptive, like all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I was tracking my ovulation and it comes to June again and Lane's on his flight to LAX and I sent him a photo of a positive pregnancy test.
Oh,
It was literally the same flight he was on
same
last year.
time.
Like,
Oh my
and he
gosh.
was like, oh my God, like I've just gotten to Nashville. I'm here for nearly 3 weeks and you've sent me this. And
Oh,
like it was actually quite nice because I don't know, we weren't as scared. I think we were like, okay, this has obviously happened for a
yeah.
reason. Like we were like,
Yes.
yeah, this is meant to be. Like third time's a charm, you know?
Yes.
And so yeah, it was really nice. Like my cousin and her partner, they were staying over while Lane was away. They'd come visiting from Canberra and I took the test because I felt weird. We went to the beach and watched sunrise that morning and then I came back and seen the positive test. So it was like not like I was anxiously waiting. I was like, let's go watch the sunrise and it was
Yeah.
just so nice. And then he had gotten back, like I'd gone to my doctor in that time. So I was literally only about 2.5 weeks. Like I found out it was like 8 days post ovulation.
Wow.
So it was like
Okay. Early.
really early. Like,
Yes.
and so yeah, I was like, you need to give me 2 weeks worth of blood test forms, like for every 2 days. I need to make sure that this is doubling. And
Yes.
everything was doubling, like everything was exceeding doubling, like it was perfect. Like all
Yep.
my symptoms were great. I was taking Elevate and that was making me super sick, but otherwise I was great.
Love
um,
that.
yeah, everything was just amazing. And baby was due just after my birthday, so around the 14th of Feb. And
Yep.
I was like, okay, well, we'll tell mum and dad now because we know that like everything's going fine. Like it's been another 2 weeks since I found out. I'm about 5 weeks. Everything's
Yep.
going fine. Everything's doubling. So I told my mum and dad, and they were like, "Oh, we're so excited!" Like then I did the sneak peek gender test at 6 weeks, which some people
Yep.
say isn't very accurate. But like, yeah, I did it, and it came back as a girl. Which I was like just so excited. I did not expect that. I was like, Lane's got 4 brothers. This has to be a boy.
Yep.
There's no chance I'm having a girl. Like,
Oh.
absolutely no chance. And so we had ultrasounds and they were like, everything's going great. Like, this is 6, 8 weeks. Everything's perfect. I was getting them every week because I was so nervous. I would call my doctor and be like, can I have an emergency ultrasound? This sounds really bad, but I was like, I'm bleeding. Can I have one? But I wasn't. But I was just like, I just need that reassurance
I
that
need to know. And I
something's.
feel like, yes, for the first
And
12 weeks, I think it would be so scary because you obviously don't
yeah.
really get anything. But good
Yeah.
on you
And
for
so I
doing
was
that.
like, it sounds so bad and I feel terrible for it. But I was like, I'm bleeding or I've got cramps or something. Like I would just constantly, because I
Just
just needed
reassurance.
reassurance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah. So
Considering what's happened in the past, I don't blame you.
yeah,
Like,
I was so nervous and I was like, I've just been through, like in a year, this was my third pregnancy in a year. And I was
yeah.
like, my body cannot handle like anything more. Like, this has
Yeah.
to everything's going great. Every ultrasound I had, like I remember Lane came in, I went on my lunch break once and Lane came from our place into work and I had just had like half a like I don't know, some kind of sandwich and I went in there and they're like, "Oh my God, baby's like doing backflips." And there's literally like sonograph like videos of baby like
Oh my
moving. It was just
gosh.
crazy. It was so cool. It was just insane.
Oh,
And so got to 10 weeks and then had another scan and went to 12 weeks,
yep.
which is like your big scan. They do like whether the
Yes.
baby will have like Down syndrome, like any deformities. They check like the spine size and all that kind of stuff that kind of rules everything out. And everything
Yep.
was perfect. They're like, your fluid is great. Like, baby's moving so much. Everything's perfect. I had like zero chance of any deformity or anything like that. Everything was perfect. And then
Yep.
that night I was started bleeding and I was like, oh my God. Like, I've just been
Oh,
told everything's perfect and now I've started like bleeding. And then it got worse and it was like a bit clotty. So I went to the Mater Hospital,
yep.
and they were like, "You had a scan this morning, you're fine." And I was like, "Well, I want another one." So I waited nearly like 16 hours there for a scan.
Oh my
Had a scan,
God.
and they were like, "Oh, well, you've had a scan, but we actually have no one on the gynecology and maternity team here. So you would actually have to go to the John Hunter." And I was like, "No, you can call them. I'm not waiting here for
Yeah,
that long."
why? Yeah,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. So, um, they ended up calling the John Hunter and they're like, so your fluids like significantly decreased from
From the
your
morning.
yeah, from this morning to now, like your baby has nearly no fluid. And I was like, oh
Oh
my
my
God. Like
gosh.
they're like, did you feel a gush of your water breaking? Or and I was like, I noticed like really it was like watery discharge, but I didn't think anything of it because you know, like sometimes when you like close to your ovulation, you have like a watery discharge, like it's
Yeah,
normal. And so
it's
I was like,
nothing.
it's probably just
Yeah.
pregnancy discharge, like you know, I just didn't think anything of it. And so yeah, I was like, I was thinking back on it and told them, and they were like, yeah, well, I think your water's broken. I don't know, like we can't really give you. There's nothing we can do to save the baby if it's gonna pass. Like you're only 12 weeks, so
Oh,
you're not going to give birth. Like, it's just going to pass. And I was like, like, a 12 weeks is like the size of your palm. Like, it's just
yeah, that's
crazy. And so I was super nervous. And they were like, yep, so nothing we can do. We'll just refer you to the EPAS
oh,
clinic. They'll speak to you on Monday. And I was like, this is like Friday night or something. Like, and so yeah, I was really
wow.
nervous. And then
As
on
you would be.
Saturday, yeah, oh, straight after I went to the Mater, I went to the John Hunter, like straight after, because I was like, surely they're going to say, which now I think about it, I'm like, babe, you're only 12 weeks. Like, they really couldn't have done anything other than reassure you.
Yeah.
But we went straight to
Are
the
you
John Hunter, and she was like, you just came from there, and pretty much told me to go home and was like, someone will contact you on Monday. There's nothing we can do. I was like, whatever. I went home and then on Saturday morning, I was like, Lane, we need to go to another hospital. I was like, this just doesn't seem right. Everything was perfect like 9 hours ago, and now
yeah, why?
now it's
Yeah.
all gone. Like this, like ultrasound cannot be right. Something's wrong. Like I just need reassurance that everything's okay because I know it is. Like, and so we went to Maitland Hospital then, and there were about maybe 12 people in the waiting area, and I told them the situation, and we had literally been had an ultrasound and out within an hour, and there were like 12 people in there. It's crazy. So I went in there.
Wow.
Yeah, I went in there. They did like a bedside ultrasound straight away, and they were like, look, baby's moving so much. Baby is thriving, but you do have low fluid. It has like we can't say if it's increased or decreased because you can't really tell. Um,
Okay.
but it doesn't look like the sac has totally popped. It may just be a leak in your fluid, which can reseal and you'll be fine to carry for the rest of the
Yeah, so that's
pregnancy.
way different to what you'd heard
Yeah, so
previously.
I would have been freaking out until Monday. So I'm
Oh my
glad on
God.
Saturday I went to the other hospital. So always get second, third opinions. Like that is what I
Legit.
learned from that is that you always need another opinion. Um, yeah, so after I left Maitland, I was like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. Like it's just gonna seal over. I'm gonna carry. Like my baby's fine. My baby's moving. My baby's healthy. Like I was taking all the vitamins, trying to eat all the right food, like everything that I could possibly do. I was walking every day, which I didn't before. I was actually like really depressed and overweight from the past two things that had happened. Like I
Yep.
was just
That's understandable.
literally so depressed from it. And so I was like, I need to change my life around for this baby. Like, this has to work. And so on Monday, I got a call from the EPAS clinic and they're like, we need to leave it 5 days from your last ultrasound because that's the only time that you're going to notice a difference in the fluid.
Okay.
So I was like, oh
Right.
my God, another like 5 days on top of the 2 I just waited. Like, and I
Oh,
was like, oh,
yeah, time just takes forever.
oh, it literally felt like a month. And so they were like, but you need to be on bed rest. And I was like, oh my God, like I have a full-time job. And so
Yep.
I'd been there for just under a year and I called my manager and I was like, okay, so they said I just need bed rest till Friday, but everything should be fine by Friday. So I'll see you again on Monday. And she was like, okay, like whatever you need, just let me know. I was like, oh, it's lovely. It's really nice to have like a really supportive manager. So it was really lovely. And having my sister that I work with, she was able to like put in it. She only works 3 days, so part time, and she was able to
Yep.
work 5 to cover me, like for all the time that I had off. But
Oh,
yeah, it got
bless.
to Friday and I went to the. So I was about 14. I don't know. Honestly don't remember. I can't remember, but it had been that 5 days. And
Yep.
I had another scan, and they're like, "Oh, great news! Your fluids increased like significantly, but we can't. There's like still a 10% chance that you could lose the baby. Like the baby could pass, and there's like nothing that we can do. But it's only a 10% chance. So because it obviously looks like it's sealed now when you're like they did you know the little spatula like probe thing, the spatula.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Okay.
tongs essentially. Like
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah, so they
yeah,
put that
yeah.
there, and they did like a swab, and they made me cough while I had it in, which was so
Oh,
uncomfortable.
good God.
It was metal, and I was like, oh. So they made me cough a few times to make sure no fluid was leaking, like when I was coughing, and nothing was leaking. I was like, this is great, like baby's gonna
This
be
is good.
fine.
This is
But they
positive.
were like,
Yes.
we want to see you in 10 days, and I was like,
Oh,
far out.
God.
This is like nearly another 2 weeks, and you have to be on bed rest for another 10 days. And I was like,
Oh,
now I've
God
got to
love
call
you.
my manager and tell her that too. So I called her and I was like, I'm really sorry. And then she's like, well, we've got to get a temp in to cover you now. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job. I was just so
It's just,
scared.
yes.
Like,
It's a lot to be happening in
oh,
that
it
time.
was terrifying. So I had the next 10 days off and I remember I was bleeding still. But like I was 15, no, it would have been nearly 16 weeks and I started to feel flutters and things like that and I was like baby's fine. I had a heart Doppler and I could see heart and everything. And
Yeah.
so my appointment was on the Monday, my like 10 days later appointment. That was on a Monday. And yeah, so I felt everything and then on Sunday I had like no movement. I couldn't pick up a heartbeat, but I was like, you know what? I could only actually properly feel and see movements for like a day. And I could only really pick up her heartbeat for a day. So I was like, it's fine. She's probably just moved, and I'm not a doctor again. So I don't
Yes.
know where to pick up a fetal heartbeat from. So I was
Yep.
like, everything's fine. But I still had like this really off thing in the back of my mind. And so,
It's horrible too.
yeah. And
It's such
so
a great, like,
they
yeah,
sit
it's
me
not a
in
nice
the
feeling.
like fetal medicine. So I was there with everyone that's like 30 weeks pregnant waiting to get their bloody like 30-week scan and everything and newborn babies, like exactly what you said. Like they sit you right with everyone that's not going through the worst time of their life. Like,
Legit. Like,
yeah. So I was sitting in there waiting, and my literally the first time I had met my midwife, like, because I had a midwife, but I do identify as Aboriginal. So I had a
yep.
lady from Aboriginal healthcare, like, she was my midwife. So I'd never met her. So she came and she was sitting with me before the appointment, and she's like, so, how, like, do you want a natural labor, like a natural birth, and like, do you want it in the bath? And so I was like planning out my birth and my labor and everything.
Oh,
And then they
yep.
were like, okay, Gracie, like, come in. And I went in and I said to my midwife, okay, I'll see you later. Like, I'm really excited for our appointment. We had planned our appointment for like the 9th of September or something.
Yep.
So at this point, it was about the 23rd of August. And I went in there and they did an ultrasound and I could just see the look on her face, like the look on the
Oh,
ultrasound
that's the
tech's face.
worst.
And she was just like, she looked really upset. Like, and I was looking at the screen and I was like, my baby's not moving because they had the screen on in front of me. And I was like, my baby's not moving. Like, my baby's so active. What the heck is going on? And then she still had it on the screen. And now I'm like, I'm really happy because I got to see my baby. But I was like, why did you not turn it off?
It's very bittersweet.
Like,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so, yeah, she was trying to find a heartbeat in front of me and it was just flatlining the whole time, flatlining. And I was like, maybe she's just not
Oh,
finding the right spot. Like, and then she did it again. She's like, I'm really sorry, but your baby's passed. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm 16 weeks. I was like, are you serious? I got this far and like, now it happens. Like,
so
you
you're
think,
literally telling me it's over.
yeah, and my miscarriage was at like about 6 weeks last time. So I was like, oh, like 6 weeks. Once I get past 6 weeks, once I get past 8 weeks, then
Yeah.
12 weeks. Like 12 week scan, everything's fine. My baby's going to come out fine. Like
Yep.
you just think that everything's going to be fine. Um, and
Because you have
so,
to.
yeah, they walked me. They didn't sit me with anyone else, which was really nice. But they put Lane and I in a room together for an hour, like in this little office. We waited a whole hour. And then the midwife, one of the midwives, she came over and she's like, okay, so there's actually no other way that you can have this. Because I thought maybe a DNC or like, I really didn't know. Like, I was like, 16 weeks seems a bit early to have to give birth. Like, it just didn't really, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yep. Yep.
And yeah, so they put me in the little room. The midwife came over and she's like, okay, so you're actually going to have to give birth. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, so you'll have a labor, like a normal labor, like your contractions will be just as painful as every other birth,
Oh my
like a full
gosh.
term birth, your labor will be the exact same, just your actual birth will, you're not birthing a full term baby, so it's a bit different. And so I was like,
Oh
what
my
the hell?
gosh.
Like, I just thought, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't expect that. And so she was like, yeah, and the birthing suite, it's actually full until Friday. So you have 5 days. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is my personal thing, but I have the biggest fear of death. And I know this was my baby and I hate saying it, but knowing I had death inside me made my skin crawl. Like, I actually felt so sick because I was like,
It's a lot
I have a like
to.
full like I don't know, it sounds really bad and I do feel horrible for saying it, but like it was
No, it's.
terrifying. Like I was like, is there any way this can happen sooner? I cannot wait. Like this is and she's like, I'm really sorry. There's you come in on Wednesday and have the first tablet because your placenta actually still thinks your baby's alive. So your placenta's still trying to feed the baby. And so your
Oh,
body's working
gross.
overtime to try and feed the baby, but the baby's actually passed. And so that made me think, well, is my baby still alive? And they're just putting me, like, I was spiraling. I was like, is my baby still alive? And they're just like making me do this? Like, have they actually checked properly? And so I
Yeah.
was just like terrified. So I came in on Wednesday, had the first tablet, and then I didn't really notice anything. I had quite a bump at this stage actually. I was like so excited
Oh,
for that, and so I was like taking heaps of photos because I was like, Lane, this like we need to take lots of photos in case we don't get to experience this again because like this is
yeah.
the second time now and it's much later gestation.
Yes.
And so yeah, I was like take lots of photos and we have
I
so
love
many
that you did
really
that.
beautiful memories that like I'm
Oh, and they
so
are such
glad.
nice photos too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really
they are.
nice. And so, yeah, we got home and I was like, we went to Baby Bunting to go and buy like a little blanket because we were told that, like, if you want to, you can have baby for a few hours and we can have a cold cot there for you to have baby next to you and everything like
Oh,
that. And so,
yeah.
yeah, it was really nice. So we went to Baby Bunting, bought a blanket, a little toy, and I feel like I probably overestimated her size when she was gonna be born. So I was like, oh, this toy
Mm.
will look really cute next to her. But yeah, so we got like the nappies, like for me, and all the postpartum stuff, and I packed the bag and I had
Yeah.
it sitting in the corner, and Lane's mum and brother came from Tamworth for like a couple of nights for I can't remember what for, but we were gonna have dinner with them that night. And we were
Yeah.
on the way. So she was like, "Oh no, don't come for dinner." And I was like, "I really need a distraction. Like, I'm just gonna sit in
Yeah.
my house and cry." She was like, "Please don't
Yep.
come." I was like, "No, I have to. I have to." And then driving to dinner, I get a call and I was like, "Oh, like who's this?" And I answer it and it's my property manager from my last house. And she's like,
Yep.
"Hey, so we know you're expecting and like we like got your
No.
email because I'd asked them if we could extend the lease for another like at least 6 months because the lease ended when the baby was due. And so I was like, can
Okay.
we at least extend it for 6 months or something? They're like, yeah, no problem. But then, yeah, the property manager called and was like, we're really excited for you. Congratulations. Like, you're expecting your first baby. And, um, yeah, the landlord, he's actually come back and said he owns a, like, disability support work and he would like to use your house for shelter for women escaping domestic violence. And so
Okay.
he said, if you move out in the next 2 weeks, he'll give you $1,000 towards removalists. And I was like, I'll be a week postpartum. Like,
Yeah,
so
what the hell?
yeah, I was like, we'll see what we can do. Like, I just didn't really say much to her because I was like, I just found this out maybe 3 hours prior that everything's happening, and then
Yes.
I get
Worst
told
timing ever.
like it would be great if you left your house, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, with that
Yeah.
kind of happened,
Wow.
and we went out for dinner and we kind of discussed it with Lane's mum, everything that happened, and then couple days go, well, we get to Wednesday, and I have the first tablet. Didn't really feel much, really at all.
So is it to like induce you, or like is that
So
because I don't actually really know much about this myself.
yeah,
So
so the first tablet is just to kill the placenta that's trying to feed the baby, and like, so
okay.
it, yeah, kills the placenta. And then the
Right.
second one actually induces you into labor, and the first one's just like you swallow it. And the second one you get like 3 tablets pushed up into your cervix.
Oh
So
gosh.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
had the first one, and as I was leaving, there was these like old ladies that had done like all the knitting and stuff like that. So I walked up and I was like, "Can I get
Oh,
the smallest beanie and booties that you have?" Like, and they were like, "Oh, why is that?" And I said, "Oh, my baby just passed, and I have to give birth in 2 days. So I would really, like I said, it obviously a lot softer than that because I was very fragile." But
yes.
they gave them to me for free, and I was like, "That is
Oh,
the
that's
sweetest thing
beautiful.
ever." Yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
so then the Thursday night, so nothing really. I had like a bit of cramps all Thursday, but Wednesday was like nothing. All
okay.
cramps Thursday. I couldn't like keep down any water. Couldn't keep down food or water for that like whole week. I don't know if it was like shock or what it was, but I just could not. I was so dehydrated. Um,
Okay.
and then yeah, so it gets to Thursday night, and I was laying in bed, and I could feel like contractions. Like I felt really bad back pain. And then I had like contraction feelings in my hips and across my stomach. And I was like, oh, okay, this
Yeah.
must be like the start of labor or something. And it happened until about midnight. And then it got a bit worse. And I was like tossing and turning all night in like a lot of discomfort and bleeding quite heavily by then.
Yeah.
Um, and yes, I was tossing and turning. And I was like, oh my God, this is getting like pretty intense. And by 4 o'clock, I called the labor and delivery suite, and they were like, "You're not due to like I was meant to call them at 9, and they would tell me to come in at midday or whatever." But I called
Right.
them at 4, and they were like, "You're not due to come in until later, but we're pretty sure you're in labor, so can you get here as soon as possible?" And so I was
Thank
like,
you.
"Okay, let me have a shower." So I got in the shower and got ready, I guess.
Yeah.
And because I thought, oh yeah, I'll have all morning, I can get comfy and relax, and but it was just like no.
Let's go.
And
Yeah.
I was in quite intense pain by then, and Lane does not have his license yet, and so I had to drive myself to the hospital.
Oh
And when I
gosh.
get there, I like park and everything, and I'm like, it sounds absolutely ridiculous, and I like now that I've experienced it, I'm like, people think you're like, I don't know, but it's just like a full term birth, they've told me. So it was
Yep.
like pretty intense pain, and this had been going on all night. So it had been like about 7 hours now. It had been happening, and it got quite intense, and they were pretty regular, like maybe every 5 minutes or something. Then I get
Okay.
up there, they put like the drip in, like the cannula, and it had been maybe 3 hours. It was about maybe four, about 8 a.m. now, and my midwife had swapped shifts. I got my new midwife, and she came in and she like watched me for about 5-10 minutes. We had a conversation, and she's like, "Okay, you haven't had any contractions in this time. I'm gonna give you the 3 tablets in your cervix to progress you, so it goes a little bit quicker for
Okay.
you." And I was like, "Okay, great."
Right.
Between like her putting them in me like at 8 a.m. and then I just met this lady and she's got her whole finger in my vagina, like fully shoving three. And it was
Yes.
like 1 tablet and she had to make sure it was up there. Second one, it took maybe 15 minutes. Like, This is me
Holy
being
crap.
totally raw and honest.
But that's good because, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't hear of these things at
Yeah.
all.
And
At
so
all.
within half an hour of them tablets going in, I was in full labor. Like it was every minute for 30 seconds I was having a contraction. And it was
Yep.
like I could not even breathe or talk through them. Like they were excruciating from 8 a.m. And so they had me on a fentanyl drip. I wanted to go totally natural because I was like I need to be natural. That's how I want it. But then at the end
Yep.
of the day, I was like, I don't care. This is the most traumatic day of my life. Like
I want
I
it.
want to be a
Yeah.
bit more comfortable. So
Yep. Totally
I
fair.
had like a drip that I was pressing every time, like it would let me. And that would help with my contractions, but it just wasn't helping enough. And so they just had it on a slow drip release. So it was just constantly, and fentanyl you usually don't.
Yep.
So yeah, I was on that and I had a contraction every minute for 30 that lasted 30 seconds from 8 a.m. until about 12:30.
Yep.
And so that was like all morning and I felt so exhausted. I was like said to my midwife in the last probably like I don't know 10 contractions where I was laying on the bed. I was bawling my eyes out crying to her saying I can't do this. Like you need to put me in for surgery. Something needs to happen because I can't do this anymore. Like my body's given up. Like the whole mental
Yep.
week that I just had, like my emotional health was just in the gutter. Like it was
Yep. As
very
it would be.
traumatic. Yeah.
Yep.
And so she was like, you're doing an amazing job. I honestly just want to give her the biggest hug because I could not have done it without her and Lane. Like, truly, they were so amazing. And she said at the end of it, she goes, most of the time you see boyfriends that are drop kicks. Like, Lane did not leave your side. He got you ice, water, anything you wanted, he was right there. And I was like, oh, that makes me feel really happy that, like, she noticed it as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so anyway, it was about I'd say 12:30. I don't really remember the time, but I said to her I was like I had a big urge to push and then I had like a water break. Like
Yep.
my waters broke, but I was so confused because I was like my water's already broke. I was like
Yeah,
really
what's going on?
yeah, so they don't tell you about that either. I thought once your waters broke, they broke, but somehow they broke
Apparently
again.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Random.
yeah, so then by 12:30 I felt a lot of pressure and I was laying on the bed and I just kept trying to like push and she's like don't strain yourself like if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And so I
Yeah.
was like, I feel like I need to poo. And that's what everyone says when you feel like you need to push. And so I was like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Good to know.
And so I was like, I'm going to go. I said to her, I need to sit on the toilet. Like, you know, when you have period cramps and you need to just sit on the toilet. Like, I
Yes.
went and just sat on the toilet and I was like, okay, I'm getting relief from this. And she's like, okay, just in case, because your baby's obviously going to be small, you don't know if it may just happen. I'm going to put a pan under you in the toilet. And I was like, okay, great. My baby's not
Okay.
going to go down the toilet. That's a great start.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
And
That's a
so
positive.
I felt like I started to get super lightheaded and like super dizzy. And because I hadn't been able to keep down any water, they were like pumping fluids into me. And I
Yep.
just felt so dizzy. And they hooked me up to the blood pressure monitor, and my heart rate was at 200 beats per minute.
Holy
And like,
shit.
yeah, I was going pale. And Lane was standing there, and he's like, genuinely, he said to me a few weeks later, he's like, I actually thought you were gonna die. Like the
Oh
nurse was,
gosh.
like the midwife was freaking out. I had my leg like one of my legs standing up on the toilet seat, and one was holding me up. And like
Oh
I literally felt
gosh.
so dizzy, I went to fall over. Like I started falling over, and my midwife like pressed the emergency button, and doctors come in, and I had doctors in
Oh,
there for the whole birth because I was like, they thought I was literally like, this was my 13th reason, honestly.
um,
Like, it was terrifying. And I
I
said to
can't
Lane, I
even
was like,
imagine.
get me a cup of water. And I got the cup of water and just threw it on myself. And the midwife just started cracking up at me. But I was like, that's the only thing that actually made me feel alive in the moment.
Yep.
um, so yeah, I did that. And then I felt this huge, like, pop. And I was like, oh my God. And then baby flew out. I was like, whoa, that
Wow.
was not what I expected. Like, I had been like
Yeah,
trying to like
no.
push. My body felt like it needed to push. And then I felt this huge like pop in my body and baby came. And then so that had happened. And she'd been telling me all day, if your placenta doesn't pass, you're going to have to go in and have a DNC to get all the retained products. And I
Yes.
was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm going to have to be put to sleep. I've death anxiety. Like, I'm scared everything's going to kill me. So I was terrified that, like, I was going to
Yes.
die too. Like, it
Yep.
was just so scary. And so I was like, placenta, please come properly. And so she had like clamped baby's cord and like, mind you, mum was like calling just before I'd given birth. And
Oh my gosh.
she was calling and she's like, I'm going to come down because she didn't realize I was going to be in so much pain. And so she's like,
Yep.
yep, gonna come down, gonna come down. And Lane goes, oh, I've got like 5 calls from your mum. I'm just gonna like literally go from the bathroom to the bedroom and call and answer her call. He literally said, hey, Linda, yeah, Gracie's in the bathroom. Just come up to labour and delivery. She's in this number. And I'm like,
And
Lane,
then all that
baby's
happened.
born. And he's out in the other room. I was like, oh my God, you've been here for hours. And of course, baby's like, no, I'm
One
coming when
time.
dad's
Oh
not
my
here.
gosh.
Yes.
Oh.
So they had clamped baby's cord and placenta came out like full.
Yep.
And then for a little while after, I had literally lost all my sanity in that moment. I was like, just everyone look at my vag. I really don't care. And so they gave me like these little bluey pads, and because baby's skin was so like it was very translucent and
Okay.
like yeah, it was very brittle
Yep.
because obviously baby was quite early in gestation, 16 weeks.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they had baby on the back of a bluey pad and like it was really nice. I held her. Well, actually, we were told that the midwife was like, "Oh, I'm like because baby's not up to the total gestation that we could assume gender, but I think that it's a boy. Like I'm certain that baby's a boy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that sneak peek test said girl, but sometimes it can be wrong. So it must be a boy." So
Yeah.
we were like,
Yep.
let's name him after our like my grandfather, my dad's dad that passed away when he was 1, and Lane's dad, so Kenny Shane. So we're like,
Yep.
okay, this is Kenny Shane, and like we were like, oh look how beautiful
Oh.
he is, like he's gorgeous, and like we were hugging him. Mum had just gotten there and got to meet him, and it was just really nice. We had like the cold cot there, and then
Yep.
I lost like a big blood clot after I'd given birth, and they're like, oh no, maybe this is retained products, but it's good that it's passing. So they did
Yep.
a ultrasound, and they were like, oh, there are some retained products, so you are gonna have to go in for surgery. So put
Oh
on your stocking
gosh.
things, and I had to wait about like I gave birth at 1:14, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to wait like it's only gonna be like half an hour. I'll be fine. I'll go straight in for surgery. And they're like,
Yep.
I didn't go until 9 p.m. And I was like
Oh
waiting for
gosh.
hours trying to eat. Like I wanted to eat food because I hadn't eaten because I couldn't keep anything down. So I hadn't eaten in like
Yep.
5 days. I'd barely been able to keep anything down.
Yep.
And so yeah, I was like, I just want to eat. Went in for surgery, but before it, I was hugging my midwife, bawling my eyes out. And I was like, please don't make this be the last time that I see my baby. Because they're like, we're going to take him just into like the cold room just so to like retain his skin for a little bit. Like, because
Okay.
he's obviously so little, things deteriorate a
Yep.
little bit quicker. So I was so worried that I would never ever see him again. I was like, this is terrifying. Like, don't take my baby from me. Like, make sure I'm able to see him again. And so
Yep.
yeah, I went in for surgery and I was terrified of not waking up. And I said to the like anesthesiast, I was like, please keep me safe. And she was like, I will, I promise. And they were like, what music do you want on in here? And I was like, like literally put it to whatever I wanted. But I was like, oh, I don't care. Like I can't even think of a song right now. Like, and they
Yeah.
were like, oh, would you want to listen to Sabrina's new album? It came out today. And I was like, oh, sweet. So they're like
Sure.
blaring like Man Child or something as I'm going in to like have someone put this like thing up me. And I was like, oh, whatever. Went to sleep, woke up, Lane came back and everything was fine. They were like, everything's gone. Like, you're perfect. And before it, they're like, oh, yeah, we could puncture something. This could
Oh
happen.
yeah,
This
I
could
know all
happen.
those
And I was like, oh
disclaimers.
my God. Like,
As if I yeah, as if I don't have enough to worry
oh,
about right now.
yes. So then it was probably about 10 p.m. when I came out and woken up. It didn't take long. It was like a 20-minute procedure, less than maybe. Um, Came back, seen baby again. I could not sleep. Like, I just could not sleep. It got to 3 a.m. I still wasn't asleep. And the nurse came in and she put the papers in front of me and she's like, okay, can you just sign these papers and like go through and see what you want? And Lane's asleep next to me and I was like, this says autopsy. I was like, oh my God. Like, I gave birth less than 12 hours ago and I've got to fill out what autopsy I want my baby to have.
Oh
It
gosh.
was just, I feel like there could
Give
be
me a
three
minute.
parts to this story because this is getting
Yes.
really long, so I
I
apologize.
know, like it's
But
yeah.
yeah, I was like, it's 3 a.m. and I've been asked to fill out my baby's death certificate and my baby's autopsy. Like, there's like a, I don't know, there's three different kinds. One's just an x-ray, one's an x-ray and like a small incision and blood tests. And then one's a fully inclusive one. So they take Bub's organs and everything out to just examine everything. And I was like, I don't want my baby
Okay.
to be touched. I don't want my baby to have
Yep.
like be scarred
No.
or like anything like that. I was like, that's terrifying. I don't even want anyone to even look at my baby. Like, that's my baby. And
Yep.
so, yeah, like I was just terrified. And at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I think it's best that we do a fully inclusive one because I will have answers and I should have answers. And they were
Yep.
like, we can't confirm that answers will come of this. And then I was like, maybe I shouldn't because maybe I just won't get answers anyway.
Oh
So
gosh.
it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like a full mind game. I was like, this is terrifying. And so, yeah, it got to about 4 a.m. I'd finally filled everything out. And I put on it like fully inclusive, please keep my baby safe with a little love heart. And I
Oh.
sent it away to them. And then the next morning came, and my sister was there that morning, Kaylee, and she brought me lots of chocolates. And like her daughter Pippa made a little card for me that said Keeny instead of Kenny. So now we've
Oh,
nicknamed Kenny
Pip.
Zucchini. So like, it's just, she put
Oh,
double E instead of double N. So it's like,
God
it's
lover.
so sweet.
Oh.
And yeah, so they were like, you can stay for as long as you want, like in the birthing suite. So they never took me to this, I don't know, even know what it's called. The one where you go after you have your baby. They just left me in the
Yeah, I
birthing
don't know.
suite. So I just heard people
Okay.
screaming and giving birth all night. And I was like, it's fabulous. Lane wheeled me down the hallway and a nurse is holding a baby. And I was like, oh my
Oh.
God. I went through probably 500 boxes of tissues that night. and but yeah, I was like, I'm grateful that I didn't get put in the ward with all the newborns. Like, that would have been even worse. I can't even imagine that. I have my own private room. And so,
Yep.
yeah, it was as good as it could be, really. So
In that yeah, in that situation.
yeah. So I was like, they said, you can go home today. You're looking great. Everything's fine. But I felt so
Mm.
dizzy. Like, I was just so dizzy. Must have been dehydration or something.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I was like, oh, I feel really dizzy, and I think I'm just gonna like I have only experienced panic attacks when I'm going to fly or something like that. But I was like, I feel like
Yep.
I'll just get panicky if I go home. Can I just stay another night? And they're like, you can stay 5. Like, you can stay as long as you like. This is for you.
That's
Like,
nice.
yeah. And
That's nice.
whenever I wanted to see Kenny, they would bring Bub up, and I could like hold her for as long as I wanted, have the cold cot, whatever I wanted. It was just really nice. And so,
Yep.
yeah, I got all of that time. And then I stayed that last night and we ordered pizza. And I got a little kid's pizza. It was like that big. And it came with a lollipop. But the Uber Eats driver, the kid in the back ate my friggin' lollipop. I could
No.
have murdered that kid. I was like, do you know what I've just been through? Like, I was
You just
so
ate my
mad.
lollipop. What
I know.
the who let someone do
I
that?
know. And I know that woman too, because I could dox her so hard right now. I know that woman.
Yeah, you're like, I deserve that lollipop.
Do. I deserve a trophy, actually.
You deserve a lot of things. But goddamn, give me my lollipop.
Yeah, so as we're
What?
walking out, we bought like the ladies that, like the next morning. So we're walking out, we bought the ladies that gave us the knitted beanie and stuff. We bought them a bunch of flowers and gave it to them as we left. And
Oh.
there was people wheeling their newborn babies out. And I was like, I'm leaving mine in a morgue. Like, that was really hard. Leaving the hospital was probably the worst part because I was like, leaving my whole life there. Like, what just
Yep.
happened? My
Yep.
baby's staying there. And so we went to this funeral home and they were like, we're going to do it all for free for you. Like the cremation and everything, you just have to pay for the urn.
Oh.
I was like, that is so sweet. So yeah, we
Oh.
had gotten home. I ended up staying at mum and dad's house. And I said to Lane, let's just get all of our stuff out of that house. I could never go back there where we lived before. So I was like, yeah,
Yep.
let's just get the removalist to come and get the stuff. I can't go back there. You guys are going to go and have to pack it. So they packed it all without me, which I
Yep.
was so grateful for. And my sister, she bought like with her daughter, she bought up the like little mini cupcakes and zucchini slice for Keeny and
Bikini.
and like all
Oh.
these really sweet things. It was just so nice to know that I have a village when I needed it the most. Like it was really, really nice. Um, but yeah, it took us like 4 weeks we were homeless for a bit and we were living with mum and dad, but I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, my world actually has turned upside down. Like I had a house 2 weeks ago. I had a baby 2 weeks ago. Like what is going on? So
Yes.
yeah,
It's crazy how quick it
it
changes.
was really hard. And I have struggled with anxiety my whole life, and I've never had it take over my life though, and it did. I think we'll go
Yep.
more into depth on it in another episode, but it
Yep.
really controlled my life. I was going to the hospital every couple of nights, like getting ambulance taken to the hospital because I was like, I'm having a stroke, I'm having a heart attack. Like, it's just all these
Yep.
symptoms that feel so real, which thank goodness they
Yes.
aren't now. And I had 1,000 ECGs and everything's been fine. But yeah, it's really crazy how much it changes your life. And it was so hard to come back to life after it. I just didn't even know what to
Yep.
do. I remember the
Yep.
day I came home, my family had left. It was just my mum, dad, me, and Lane. And I was sitting on my mum and dad's lounge screaming. And I was like, why did this happen to me? Like, I was literally screaming and bawling my eyes out. Like, why? What did I do? Like, I did everything to try and protect my baby. I changed everything that I did to try and protect my baby, and this still happened. Like,
Yep.
why
Yep.
me? And it was just, yeah. There's like bloody alcoholics and drug addicts that have perfectly normal children, and I'm like, I did everything to protect my child, and that still wasn't fine for
And
me.
that's what happens.
It's
Yep.
just
I think I
really
know. I think
hard.
as a teacher too, like I see that a lot. Like
Yeah,
people just keep having kids, like they don't do anything to stop it, but it's like the ones that they've already got, like yeah.
it's
Again,
really
that's a whole
hard.
different story. It's yeah, it's fucked up some of the stuff you do see
Yeah, well,
and hear.
yes. So we get
But
to my 6 week appointment, my 6 week postpartum, and they put
yep,
you in the waiting room with all the
yep.
pregnant women and all the babies. And I was
You get to
like,
see all the
I'm
babies. Yep.
here to get my son at the time, my son's autopsy results, and to have my 6 week postpartum checkup. I was like, that is fucked. Like,
Yep.
that is seriously so shit. And so, anyway, we didn't even get an office or a room. We literally got put in the staff lunchroom at John Hunter Hospital.
What?
Yep. And Lane wasn't there. He was up in Cairns at that time. So my cousin came with me to the appointment because he was in Cairns for work. And me and
Yep.
my cousin, this the head of like gyno at John Hunter, he was lovely, Dr. Pennell.
Yep.
And his like, I don't know, trainee or secretary or something. We were all in there in the lunchroom at John Hunter, and he was like, "Oh, you named your baby Kenny. That's strange for a girl's name." And I was like, "Pardon?" And he
What do
goes,
you
"Oh yeah,
mean?
the autopsy came back, it's female." And I was like, "What?" Like, so it went from female, male, female. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" That was the
What
biggest
the
shock. I was like,
hell?
"What the hell?" Like, it was actually shocking. But we went
Yeah,
on, we had
wow.
the results, and it honestly just relieved me, also made me a bit more nervous, but relieved me a lot because they said
Yep.
there was actually nothing that you could have done, like, at all.
Yep.
But you have a really like rare blood clotting condition, and we reviewed your placenta and it is full of blood clots. Like, there is no way you
Oh
could have carried
wow.
Kenny any further than you did because it was just fully blood clotted. Like, there was nothing you could have done. And if 50
Wow.
is the biggest, healthiest, most like plump placenta you've ever seen, and like
Yep.
0 is like a dead placenta, yours was a 4. So they were like, your
Oh,
placenta was tiny and like just could not have progressed any further.
kept
And so we're
going.
surprised it
Yeah.
went as far as it did. So I was like, oh, okay, like that's
Oh,
scary. Is
it's
that going to happen
horrible,
again?
but
And
yeah.
they were
Yeah.
like, so you could have this blood clotting disease in your life, like in your everyday life, not just pregnancy. And I was like, oh my God, give me something else for my anxiety to just freak out about.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Freaking hell.
yes.
Add it, yeah,
So,
add it to the list.
yeah, they were like, you can get a blood test today, but it'll be about 4 weeks till it comes back. But they
Oh
said my
my
next
God.
pregnancy, I'll just have to be monitored, like have ultrasounds weekly and be on blood thinners, like injections and aspirin and
Yep.
tablets, blood thinning tablets from 5 weeks pregnant.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll be seen every week for an ultrasound and a examination. And then from 15 weeks, I'll be seen every week again, but for pelvic examinations, like cervix examinations to make sure your cervix isn't opening because you've already had like a preterm birth. And so I was like, oh my God, like this pregnancy is going to be a full chore. Pregnancy's already chore. That's going to be, but I'll be
A lot.
grateful to have my little baby in my arms and I cannot wait.
Yes.
Um,
Do anything.
yes, but my blood test results came back and I don't have a blood clotting disorder outside of pregnancy. So it's only there while I'm pregnant, which I'm very
Okay.
grateful for. Because it could be a lot
Yep.
worse. Like they said, if you have this blood clotting disease, an average woman has a 1 in 10,000 like percent chance of having a blood clot. You have a 1 in 1,000. So I was like, oh my God. They're like, you can't
Yep.
fly anywhere without blood thinners. I was like, God.
Oh
Like,
my
but yeah, so
God.
thankfully I'm really glad that it all came back fine and it's just while I'm pregnant. But
Yeah.
that is my story and that's how we got here. Um, yeah.
Well, yeah. Bonding over our traumatic experiences.
Yeah. Yes. So,
Um,
yeah.
but no, I think like thank you for sharing. I think like as I'm sure like you know as well, like so many people probably go through this and then just don't share it
I
with
have
anyone.
had
Like,
like so sharing my posts on social media, I had over maybe 2.5 million people view it.
yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
and
Wow.
my profile views were at 5 million in 30 days. Profile views.
Wow.
Yeah. At the moment, they
That's
still
amazing.
are sitting at like 2.2 million, and I have 9,000 followers. Like,
Yep.
it just, the analytics don't match. But obviously, my content's being shared between people, which really makes me feel great that I'm like
Yes.
helping people. But I've had, honestly, probably at least 5,000, 10,000 messages from women that have gone through the exact same thing and or it
Yep.
like slightly different
Yep.
like losses at 40 weeks, losses at 30 weeks, like all different, but they all need the same validation, like
Oh
a
God, yeah.
podcast like this or just
Yep.
sharing on social media. That just, yeah, showed me how not, I guess, yeah, it is normal, like how normal it is to go through loss and
Yep.
like pregnancy loss, any kind of loss, it is so normal. So, yeah, it
I
really
agree.
made me want to share when I seen how many thousands of women have gone through the same thing and have no one to be able to validate them or make them feel seen or heard. So, yeah.
Yep. No, I love that. Because yeah, I
Yes.
think mine was more just to, I guess, inform people, I suppose, that like even like medical professionals do get things wrong.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
like everyone makes mistakes, which I get, but at the end of the day, like you as a woman, like know your own body, and to
Yes.
have people kind of dismiss you, I suppose,
Oh,
is like so
absolutely.
frustrating because you're
Yeah.
like, as you know, like you're like, I legit know this is going on. There is something, I don't know what it is, but it's something that's not normal.
Yeah.
And then for people to go, oh no, like you'll be fine,
Yes.
like yeah, it's not okay. And I think, as you say, like even if you've got to go to that third doctor, that fourth doctor, like you keep going until you get the answer, like, or to validate what you're actually going through. Because I feel like, yeah, like literally women like would have died because people just don't listen
Women
to them.
have died. Yeah.
Yes, like because no one listened to them.
Yeah.
And yeah, like um I think yeah, it's just so important that, you know, you do talk to people as much as women are seen as, you know, you do show up every day, you keep going, you don't give up, but it's always important to like have that support network.
Totally
Even
agree.
thank goodness for social media, like to
Thank
be able to just to
God.
talk to people.
Yeah, and
Like
meet
you never
people
have to
on the
see
same
them.
paths of life. Like,
Yes.
it's like,
Agreed.
honestly, I love my psychologist and I love her to bits, and she has honestly saved my life. But speaking to people on social media feels very similar. You don't even have to know them. Like, and
No.
speaking to someone that isn't a relative, that can't pick sides, that know the
Yep.
full story, it's really nice to speak to someone that can't pick sides or isn't a relative, like, or a friend. It's really, really
Just
nice.
neutral. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, for
Yes.
sure.
And on the back of that, we've got our little Ask the Girl segment. So,
Oh,
um,
yes.
yeah,
So I posted on our Instagram, um our Forever Unfiltered Instagram
which you
page.
should
So
go
make
and
sure,
follow, by the way,
yes,
on
go and
TikTok
give it
and
a
Instagram.
follow. Um, it's I feel like there's one and it says, what was it like after Kenny had passed, emotion wise and relationship wise? I was thinking maybe we know we were going to eventually talk about that in a later episode, like life after
Loss. Yeah.
loss, essentially. So I think that will be a really good one for you to answer in more depth because obviously there's a lot of layers to this story.
Yes.
Um, but there was another, which I think, I guess, is just a general for a lot of women. But how do you manage discussing periods, miscarriages, etc., with boyfriends, like all the female
That's a
issues?
really good question,
And I
actually.
think it's a good question for you too, because as you were saying, like Lane has brothers, like he's not really grown up,
Yeah.
being around women. So
I've
I
actually never
think like
thought about
most,
that. Yeah.
yeah, like it's true, but like even like my partner, he's got two sisters, but literally as soon as you say the word period, he'd be like, la 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 la, like I'm not listening, like, you
Yeah.
know. Um, so I'd be very interested to hear like how obviously he kind of got thrown into it all
Yes.
like with you. And
Yes.
I think he would have learnt very quickly. But yeah, I guess just even like, everything that women go through in everyday life. Yeah, periods, all that sort of stuff. Like, how would
Yes.
you go about?
So I think so. Lane has four brothers, but
Yes.
two of them live in far north Queensland. So he only lives with one brother, and his
Yep.
dad tragically passed away about I believe 8 years ago now.
Yep.
So he grew up very close with his mum, and yeah, I think that helped.
Yep.
Because he's actually very open with periods. Like, if a random girl on the street said, "Can you get me a tampon?" I'm sure he'd go and get it because
Oh, I
he's like,
love that.
he honestly, whenever, even from the start, we've been together since we were like just turned 15,
Yep.
and yeah, so we've been together for a few years now, and from the start, I guess he was probably a little bit weirded out at the start, to be honest, because I like am pretty open about it. I think it's something that
Yep.
needs to be spoken about because it's something that happens, and it's not just your period lasts for 7 days or 5 days or something. Like, you go through so many phases of a period. Like, your whole
Oh
month
yeah.
revolves around your
The whole
period.
cycle.
Yeah.
Legit.
So I'm very open with that with Lane, and I think that's helped. Yeah, just being open and telling him like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you whether you're not listening, like whether you're
yeah,
doing these runs or not.
yeah.
Yeah, like
And so I make a real point of getting him involved in it, which I really like because I can really speak to him about it around anyone. If I'm like speaking to my sisters about it or whatever, like he just doesn't care. He's not awkward about it.
oh, I love that.
But yeah, I know when I was like seeing the first time I'd really met his mum, she was talking about like, oh, she's getting her girls this weekend or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
what's that? And she
What are you
then
talking about?
told me, but Lane was like, oh, yeah, I'll get you that. Like, I'll go get you whatever. So his mum had
Oh,
obviously embedded it in him, which I really love. And I think that that's what my children, that will be embedded into my children too, because I want them to be gentlemen if I have little boys, and look
yes. No,
after
I
their
love that.
wives and friends. And so, yeah,
Yes. Yeah, I
I
think it's
think I went on a bit of a
important.
rampage there. But yeah,
No,
Lane is
it's
fantastic
good.
with periods and he's very helpful. Like, we were away a few months ago. Can't even remember, a couple of months ago. Can't remember where it was, but it was one of like my first periods back, and you just don't expect it because you're coming back
No, yeah,
to your
and
regular
you can't
cycle.
track that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now I have an aura ring, so I can, thankfully.
Oh, how cool.
Yes. But yeah, I think we were in Sydney, and I was like, oh, I just started my period, and he's like, oh, it's okay, I'll run somewhere, and he like went and got me pads,
Oh,
tampons, Panadol. Like, he just got me everything, and he knows how to comfort me, and he's like, do you want a heat pack or whatever? So it's really nice. It is very
oh,
nice.
how good.
Yes. How do you feel that Baz
Oh, yeah.
handles periods?
I feel like he's the complete opposite. Like obviously now, like with everything, I think I've got to stop putting my hand up to the thing because I think that's why it's not auto focusing. We are filming this as well, so um, yeah, I think as I said, he grew up with two sisters. I mean, I know they're very open when it comes to that sort of thing. Like they will talk about it as well.
Oh, that's good.
Um, but yeah, I think he knows it obviously, but he doesn't know like the logistics of it all.
Yeah. No, that's
Like the
fair. I
finer
think most
details.
men don't.
No, and I get that because obviously like they don't have a vagina, so he's
And
like
they don't
whatever. I
really
don't
have to know.
actually.
Like,
No, no.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think thank God for social media because I send him so many videos. If I just think, oh, I think he should know this, like I will literally send it to him.
Yes, I feel that.
Um, so then I'm like, it's not awkward like me having to like explain
Yeah.
something or, he'll be like, oh gosh, like what are you trying to tell me? Like, whereas when it's a video, it's a bit like I guess lighthearted or,
Yeah.
a bit of humor like thrown in there sort of thing.
Yes.
Um, but then I guess also informative at the same time. So that's how we communicate a lot
Yes.
because otherwise he's just like, no, like, so I know he'll watch a video of it and then
Yes.
I'll be like, so, like, what do you think? And he'll be like, oh, yeah, I get it. Okay. Like,
Oh,
all right,
that's
thank you.
sweet.
Moving on.
Yes, that's
Please don't make
sweet.
me talk about it.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I
Oh my
think
gosh.
everyone is so different as well. And Lane's a bit of an extrovert and he like obviously his
Yeah.
job's to perform and he's
Yeah.
very good at talking. So I think he also reciprocates that in listening. Like he's very good in at listening as well. And so
Yep.
yeah,
No, that's good.
he
That's
listens
good.
about everything. We'll be sitting on the bed and I'm like, so right now I'm in my luteal phase or like going through. And he's like, okay,
I
so you're gonna
love
be
that.
cranky. I'm like, yeah, probably. I'm probably gonna hate you for the next 5 days. But yeah,
Oh, bless.
yes,
Bless.
it's actually really good. And or if I sit down, I'm like, so this means this, and he's like, oh, okay, so and ask like more questions about it. So I know he's actually listening, which is quite nice. But
You
I
paraphrase
know,
for me.
yeah, I know. Like some men aren't like that, and that's totally normal as well. Like
Yes. I think, yeah, as long as I guess they are still being, I guess, sensitive and like
involved.
understanding of like what you actually go through. Like, yeah, the fact as you say, it's not just, bleeding for like a few days and then that's it, you move on with your life. Like it's a lot more hormonally and all that sort
So
of stuff.
much.
So
Yes.
yes, definitely.
Yes. Then we've got.
But yeah, quote of the week.
Yes, I'm excited for this one actually. I just found it on social media.
I love
I
that.
find lots of them on social media. I follow a lot of grief and personal inspo kind of pages and things like that.
Yes.
So my
Yep.
quote for the week is, I know you want to fix it all today and the pressure is heavy, but you're important too. Your mind, your heart, your body and your soul are important as well. So yeah, just
Oh,
reiterating that your body is the vessel and you need to look after that before you try and fill everyone else's cup. So
very
yeah.
true. Well, mine on obviously on the back end of what we've been talking about, especially with your story. So, grief is the price of love. It's brutal, yes, but it's also proof that you loved deeply, fiercely, fully, and that kind of love is worth everything.
Oh, I love
So, I think
that.
that's nice because it's not just even to do with like what we've gone through, it's also obviously like relationships,
Yeah.
like unfortunately, that is just something that if you do love something, someone, so much that unfortunately there is a point where you
There's a
will experience some kind of grief.
yeah. Yes, I
So,
totally agree. Totally
yeah.
agree. I'm trying to find
Oh, it's the hold up. The what is it? The thank listeners, acknowledge the heaviness of the
our
episode,
outro.
and mention
Yes.
that next week you'll be talking about life after loss.
Okay. Do you want
Oh no,
to
my
do that or
screen.
do you want me to do that?
I can do that for you if you like. All right, Lane, we're
Fabulous.
cutting to here.
Yeah. What's the word?
Oh. All
Action.
right, so thank you everyone so much who tuned in and thank you for coming back for episode number 2. We love and appreciate you guys so very, very much. Please make sure you give us a follow over on all our socials because we do obviously ask all these questions week to week that we would like to answer as part of our episodes. We do thank you for listening, even though, it was quite a heavy episode, but obviously that's why we're here. We're, making people more aware of all of this stuff, and that, you're not alone in going through these things. So Next week we'll be looking at talking about life after loss. So thank you to our lovely listener that posted in about, what kind of things happened after. We will
Yes.
be obviously touching on that. We can't be talking forever, unfortunately. We
I
could
feel
keep
like I
going.
really could be forever unfiltered. Like, I could talk
Yeah,
forever.
like
I'm
I'm
sorry,
literally
this
like,
is
no,
a really long episode, but I could talk forever.
it's 5 to 9 at night, but I reckon we could. I'm like, oh, we could push it to 10. Like we're good, we're good.
We are
We'll just
good.
keep going. We'll keep going.
Yes. I promise next week won't be as heavy as today. I think this is obviously probably the heaviest it will get.
Yes, I
Um,
think just
being
sharing it
real
all.
and raw and sharing what happened. So
Yes,
if you feel that this
definitely.
episode or the last was too much, please know that there will be a future episode that will, it won't be as heavy as this. I can promise you
No, and
that.
we will obviously touch on other topics and stuff as well. It's not just going to be all about us, but obviously everyone else's experiences and stuff as well.
Yeah,
So
and not just
thank you.
pregnancy as well. I
Yes,
just want to
yes,
clarify that just because that's our
yes.
experience doesn't mean that's all we're speaking about. So yeah.
No, definitely not. But yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in and listening. And hopefully we get to see you on the next one.
Thank you. Have a
All right.
great night or day or wherever you're going.
Wherever you are. I'm going to have a toasted sandwich and I'm going to bed.
Me too. Well, I'm eating pizza and going to bed. Bye.
Yes.